is Maria Cristina Cadena, and we're back with our second episode where we will be talking about content in MT. As you know, machine translation is a very important topic in the localization industry, and I'm very happy to share with you and learn along with our two experts that are here with us today. We are here today with Laura Casinellas, a machine translation expert at Magic Beans Agency, and with Patricia Freitag, a linguistic lead from Textrans. Please, Laura, can you share with us what do you think about can everything be translated, machine translated? Is there such like a right content for machine translation?
So this is a very hot topic, I suppose, of conversation and discussion. And this is something that my clients would ask me all the time. And I suppose I could say yes or no. I might let, Patricia be a little bit more specific. What I'm going to say in this case, I suppose, is that what I say to my clients is if you invest in machine translation, if you take the time to learn the technology, to train your people in the technology, to pay, to pay a provider, machine translation provider, maybe even customize engines, just use it as much as you can, and maybe test it. In some cases, it will be more useful than others, but very likely you'll probably get benefits most of the time. So I'll leave it like that for now.
Yeah, thank you. And Patricia will tell us more.
Sure. I think what Laura mentioned about testing is very good because, as she said, sometimes machine translation can be more beneficial than others. You will always get some kind of benefit, but for some types of texts, you will likely be able to use more of the machine translation output. So if we have, for example, uh, letters, emails, texts that follow a certain standard of syntax, machine translation will work so well that you will be able to use most of the output. But if you have more creative texts like advertising with lots of puns and idioms, you will probably have to make more adjustments. It doesn't mean that you will not be able to use anything from the machine translation. You will be able to use bits and parts. So as she said, always try to use it, but it is very good to be, always checking if it's working for certain types of text and projects. So being open to receive feedback from the translators, this open communication will be very good for both sides.
Okay. And for example, in terms of Portuguese, what do you think about the differences between European and Brazilian Portuguese in terms of what you were talking about, like implementing machine translation, and for example, in the creative part, like is it like the bigger challenge?
Actually, I think that this is not only an issue for creative texts. I think that the differences between the Portuguese spoken in Brazil and in Portugal will affect all types of projects and texts. So if you are localizing your texts to a different audience, an audience in Portugal and an audience in Brazil, you should probably do two projects, run the texts and with the machine translation for Portugal and for Brazil, because the results will be different. The post editors will be different. They have to be very familiarized with the language spoken in each of the countries.
And Laura, do you have an opinion? Please share with us.
So, from the point of view of Portuguese, I mean, up until not so long ago, machine translation providers didn't offer what is called or flavors. In the case, it could be French, Canadian, Castilian Spanish, Latin American Spanish, Brazilian Portuguese. In terms of Brazilian Portuguese, I mean, as Patricia was saying, there are enough differences to warrant to have a different machine translation model for Brazilian Portuguese, and not all providers offer it at this moment. So when you are looking for to get machine translation, one of the, I suppose, the aspects or the factors you have to take into consideration is language pairs, especially if the language pair that you require, it might be a little, I mean, I'm not saying that Brazilian Portuguese is unusual, but, it might be different than the normal fix or things like that.